Okay, so at this point what I want to do is take these two our passes and I want to group them. So we have it just frequency separation, kind of understanding. Next what I want is start working on retouching and adjusting some effects. And let's work maybe on a curves and maybe some dodge and burn. I think this is kind of nice colors and I like it. Don't need too much work hair color, so I'm just going to create instead curves for what normally I do, work with the curves and apply for the hair and other stuff. We'll just go to straight dodge and burn. So we'll create new layer, dodge and burn we'll call. Okay, let's go take this layer and I'm clipping to mask below. Also we'll go shift backspace so we can open fill and we'll fill this with 50% gray. After this, let's go switch to the soft light. And what? Okay, so right here we're going to use the brush. Okay, and for this one we'll go use it black color. I will just begin with a black with darker, and I'm going to use it soft. And be sure it's about 10, maybe even lower. 7% will work. Okay, next you just start kind of brushing over and you can see right here we start adding a little bit more shape. So, and I'm going kind of around slowly adding a little bit more dimension to this, darker some areas. Okay, we can always come in and highlight other areas. And sometimes some people does, some not for the eyes, but because this is will be a little bit more sci-fi-ish, comic-y, comics kind of look. I want eyes popping up a little bit more, so I will add white to them. Just bring a little bit more whites out. They do flatten, so you can see right here. And when it's flattened, we can just add, bring back a little bit darker right here. So still have this depth to the eyes. Okay, let's go in white again. Just highlights. Okay, maybe a little bit remove shadow from under eyes. Add lights to the cheek bones. Okay, we'll add right here. Let's add little dimension. Okay, and work on the lips. Okay, and I'm using bracket keys to increase size for my brush. So I'm just going up and down on a brush, add effects. I can dark if we need it. Okay, let's go zoom out. So you can see we add a little bit kind of more dimension to the face, I think. Okay, let's go with the black, and now we'll come back and we can retouch it, but I want to touch up a little bit more on the jacket. So same thing, I'm going to add, mostly you can see already with a darker area shadow, so I'm going to add more to these areas. Maybe a little bit shadow add to the end. And because this is using soft light, so it's kind of applied not necessarily on the white, you cannot going all the way. If you want to add shadows, you need to use it multiply or soft light type effect. So let me add right here, just a little bit depth in. Okay. Darker this area and a little bit more depth on the head. Head is will be white. We just need to add a little bit more depth. Okay, let's take darker to this area. There you go. Okay, so let's go switch to white. And a white, usually it's a smaller for me, brush, and I'm just going emphasize on those highlights right here, so we can add some of this lines. Okay, let's go add right here, and also add inside as well. Let's put a little bit on our fingers and on a gun, so we'll do on a middle. Overall, just see which one you think it will work best to add some dimensions. Yeah, okay, so right here we have it, before and after. So you can see we add kind of post work. Okay, again, here's before with everything. The next, what I want to do at this point, it is combine this layer and I create one more overlay. So Control Shift Alt E will take all these layers and combine, creating a new one. So I want to clip this layer, so we're all clipping to FS, and this one will be, we apply more automated, kind of a little bit more depth to this even. So we'll go to black and white, and I'll take my reds, and reds is what mostly reds and yellows will use on the faces. So we'll bring this higher, you can see right here, and let's just even bring a little bit on the greenish. Click OK. Next we're going image adjustment, and we'll go to shadow and highlights. We'll take shadows, bring them all the way to 100, and on the highlights I want just bring enough, so right here kind of cheeks, and also you can see I don't want all the way dark, but I want to bring them maybe around 50 for this, so we have the kind of dimension going. And we'll switch this to soft light, so you can see we add kind of HDRI almost look. I don't want to use it all the way, but we'll just maybe bring around 30-40% on this one. This is effect you can see like on a head right here. So if we go closer to the head, this is add more texture technique. So look right here, before and after, you can see it's kind of add depth to our texturing effect. Okay, we can modify even more on this, but I think at this point I'm almost ready to use. With couple problem right here, we have it some oops, not blurring, not applied, so we have it an edge not working, and we can always come back to our what do we work with, polygon, and just add a little bit softening to this one. We can modify and add some blur to effect. In many cases, if you think you're done with this, you can always just go combine, create new layer from this, and just attach to this layer, and using kind of blur, just slightly blur right on the angles. Okay, but again, it's at this point, I'll just go and connect it back, so I'll leave it like this. And in the next step, we'll take our image and we'll bring inside our work. Before I actually do this, let's combine all of this. We'll right click and convert all of this to the smart object. The one reason I'm doing this, because when I try to rescale, I don't want to lose resolution. And with smart object, I always can come back and work on some effects, but it still provide for me kind of so I can modify it, okay, without losing any quality when I'm scaling.